In this video, we will explore how to create a basic Google form. First thing I'm going to show you is how to get to Google Forms, and there's a few ways to do this. The first is to go to google.com or google.co.uk and then select the 9 tiles at the top right once you've signed in. Then, in your applications, scroll down and you'll find Google Forms, the purple page icon. If this is something you are going to use regularly, use the drag and drop tool to move this further up. Click on it to open it. Then select the blank form to create a new form. Another way to get to Google Forms and to the same point is to have a new tab and simply type in form.new and select enter. This will also create a new form. And the final way that I will show you is from your own Google Drive. So if you were creating a form for a specific topic or for a specific purpose linked to one of your folders, you could go to New, More, and Google Forms. And then that will bring you to the same screen. So there's a few options. There's starting from google.com, there's typing in form.new, and then there's going from your Google Drive to that new button, More, and Forms. So I'll close these tabs and then we'll focus on this one here. So just to give you an idea of the layout, you have your title page and your title section of the form. So if I give this form a name, I'm just going to call it Demo Example. If I click up to where it says Untitled Form, it will name that there too. I can give the form a description. This could be your instructions, or it could be some guidance for those people who are going to be completing your form. The next part is the questions. So if you click on the one that is given, it's always a multiple choice one to begin with. You could change this for what your own purpose is. So if you were asking for some text responses, if you were asking for a name or a bit of information from somebody, you could ask the short answer, and I'll just pop name. And then you can use this slider tool down at the bottom to make it a required question, which, if you're familiar with completing forms online, gives it a small star and means people cannot submit the form until they've provided a response to that question. And you can see all the other options. So multiple choice checkboxes are quite commonly used. Checkboxes allow you to select more than one option, whereas multiple choice allows you to only select one option as the person providing the response. Short answers are typically used for short text responses, such as names or small parts of information. If you are wanting people to provide a lengthy response, choose the paragraph option. In Google Forms, if you're using this for your students, you can have the option of a file upload. Now, this will only work if the respondees are using a Google account, so that the file is then shared with you from their Google Drive. And then you have the option to have different scales. So I'll show you those next. To add a new question, you'll see this menu box down the side here. So I can click the Add tool to add a new question. I'm going to use the linear scale. And how confident are you using Google Forms will be my question. And I will label the options: not confident, very confident, and I'll make that required. Like, I'm not going to have the name one required at the moment. Not everyone likes to provide their name on a form, and sometimes that's not really relevant to the information you're collecting. The multiple choice grid is a great use of forms in terms of getting a lot of responses quite quickly. Likewise with tick boxes. So how confident are you using the following tools? So I'll have Google Docs, Classroom, and Google Slides. Now, every question that you put in, and for me, when I'm using new options from the question menu, because I haven't used them all the time, at the top you'll see the I icon. This is just along from the send option. If you click on that, that provides you with the opportunity to see your form as it will look to the respondees. And you can also practice typing in some of the answers just to see what happens. And you'll notice that I haven't got a star next to the how confident are you using the following tools. So next to Google Forms, I have this red asterisk, but that is not there next to this one. So that means if I leave this one blank and submit it, it will work. Now, I may want it that everyone has to provide a response there to make sure that I have used the slider to require a response in each row. Now, if I go back and do the exact same answers again and click submit, it won't let me submit it until I have completed this question. And now I can submit the form. So you'll see back on the form, I now have responses because I've used the preview option to complete the form. So I can then look at what this will look like. So I've got my responses. You'll see they're in bar charts. Now, depending on the type of question you do, these will look different. So if you've got some questions that may be a pie chart, other ones you'll see this nice color diagram along the bottom. And what you can also do with this is you can view the responses by the question. So I can look at all the responses for the name, all the responses for the specific tools, or I can view them as individuals. So I can see as they came in. So if this was your class or if this was a form you put out to the parents and guardians of your school, you would get their responses individually as well. The other thing we can do is use this green box here to create a spreadsheet of all of the responses. So that gives you a new spreadsheet that's updated every time there's a new response. You don't have to create that spreadsheet every single time you've been into the Google form. And you can see as I scroll along here, there's no responses for this top line as I had not made that required, but there are responses here. So I can get all the information I need for this person. I can see when they completed the form, and I can scroll along and see all of that information. If I come back to the form now, so we know how to put in the questions. There are other options to put in just a text box to give a bit more information about a section. So if I say put that in underneath here, it's worth noting that you need to click on the box that you want that to go underneath. So if I was clicked at the bottom here and popped in an image, and I will just search for Google, I'll pop that image in. You'll see that's gone underneath. So anything that you put here will go underneath the section you have clicked on. You can drag and drop to reorganize. And that's straightforward to do. You use these 6 dots at the top of the section, at the top of the question, and you can drag and drop, which is quite a nice feature. You can always use the bin as well to delete a section or a question that you're not happy with. The last one I'll show you is the add section. So what you'll notice is you've got section 1 of 2 now at the top. So this is the first section. So if you had quite a detailed, lengthy kind of form, this is a nice way of breaking this up. So I can give this a title section 2, and then again I can add in questions. And if we preview what this looks like, options, I'll just do 1, 2, so on. I can then preview this form just to give you an idea of how this now looks. And then instead of submit, I now have this option to go to next. And that will bring me to the next section where I can complete the answer, then submit the form. So that's a different way of doing the form. It saves people having a long form to scroll through. You can keep it all in one small area. minimize the need to scroll, and have it so that it's clear that they're onto another part where it's a different type of focus. To send your form to your intended respondents, there is the option at the top to send. Before we get there, however, I need to show you some of the settings. So the settings is where we can define if this is a form that is only for users within your organization. So this one here requires people to sign in, and specifically with the domain in which this form has been created, which is edubuzz.org. If you were to create this form for parents to complete, you would need to untick that box, and that now means that anyone can complete the form. You can have it so it collects email addresses, but that's not too necessary. It depends how you're using the form. And you can also provide the option to edit after submit, which is sometimes quite useful when you're providing a form for parents, as it saves them having to resubmit the form to change their answers. It will allow them to edit those answers. In the presentation part, which is the last thing to show you in settings, you can give a confirmation message. So this means you can personalize the response they receive after they have submitted the form. So you could simply say thank you for your response and give a more personalized message to your respondees. It will automatically say thank you, your response has been recorded. So if you don't want to customize that, you can leave it and it will do that quite polite message. And then you can hit save. And then we're ready to send the form. So we can click on send. Then we've got a few options. If you want to email it to specific people, so if you've got a group email for your class, for example, you could type that in here. However, most of the time when you're sending it to people out with your organisation, or if you want to post a link in your Google Classroom, you can use this link icon. Click on that, and then you're given this link. Now, I would always recommend shortening the URL. Just is a lot less to take up space if it's within an email, or if you're posting it on a school blog, for example. And then you can click copy. And now if I go into Classroom, I'll open my demo classroom. I can then pop this up in classwork as an assignment. I can pop this link in. Survey, and then I'll just say, please complete the form. Then I can assign that to my class and always give it a topic. And assign. And you'll see there's the survey. If I click on here, the form has now been attached. I can click on that to open it, and then it takes me to the page to respond. The next Google Form demonstration video will focus on creating self-marking quizzes.